Okay, then we'll carry on from here. Now before you embark on a project, you need to carry out a feasibility study, right? If the project is found to be feasible, you will decide to implement the project. So what are the dangers of going ahead with a project without a feasibility study? It can be a failure, right? Because we don't know whether it is financially or economically feasible. Then we waste resources, we waste valuable resources on projects without much return. So some few examples of public projects, right? Now it is widely believed Mattal International Airport was started without a proper feasibility study, and someone said it's 2-3 page feasibility they had, so they didn't have a proper feasibility study of Mattal Airport. Then construction of cricket stadiums, whether you have enough income, you take a lot of land, use a lot of money to construct, then whether you have enough matches to be played there, right? So we have several stadiums like that without much income, so using a lot of resources. Then government projects. One government start a project, maybe after a feasibility study, the next government stops it, right? So the base is not known. If there was a feasibility study and everyone has agreed, then you should go ahead. Now, you would have seen Kalani Valley Railway electrification. That was a project started by last government to electrify the Kalani Valley project, but this government stopped it. Then light rail transit project. Last government started and it was about to commence construction. This government stopped it due to different reasons. But if there was a feasibility done and if that feasibility was acceptable, that we should have gone ahead with that project. So a feasibility study should arrive at a definitive conclusions on all the basic issues of a project after consideration of various alternatives. Now, we'll take hotel project, a resort in Maldives. So what is the market segment in resort project in Maldives? And it has different tourism market compared to Sri Lanka. Right. So apartment project in Sri Lanka, what is the customer segment? And we have to design the project, and in the feasibility study, it will say this high-end projects, there is a market, or middle level, or low end. So the feasibility study has to find out at what end, what type of units, what are the sizes, whether the unit should be studio unit, 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, right? And the facilities to be provided, swimming pools, gym, walking park, and can they get advance payments, and whether bank loans can be obtained, what is the market, right? So the feasibility study should look at several alternatives and come up with a proposal, maybe a couple of alternatives to do the project. For convenience of presentation, these conclusions and recommendations should be summarized in the executive summary. So one doesn't need to read the full report. In the executive summary, the conclusions and recommendations will be given. So executive summary also should include all critical aspects of the study: major advantages, major drawbacks, and chances of implementing the project. I will share with you a Maldivian resort project proposal, and you will have to tell me after studying the proposal whether the project could be implemented or whether the project would have been implemented, and what are the strengths and weaknesses of the proposal.